Hi Year 9 Photography Group and welcome to our Knowledge Organiser. Now this is a really important document for you to support you with your understanding both in and out of your photography lessons. Now a lot of you won't have done photography before, so it's a completely new subject for you. So it's really important that you learn the key language that is related to your work so that you can confidently develop your practical work. So some of those words are included on this knowledge organiser, and a lot of the important ones are on here for Year 9. So words like composition, you're going to hear that word a lot in your lessons, especially when you're doing practical work. If you understand composition and you understand how to use it when you're taking photographs, you're going to develop the quality, the visual quality of your work, and that's really important. As well as developing that visual quality in your work and taking lots of photographs, you will experiment with your work. We will use programs like Photoshop, but we can also use apps as well. So I would expect you to be working outside of lessons, as well as taking photographs and maybe doing some written work for home learning. I'd expect you to maybe have a go at using an app like Snapseed or Pixlr, and these are free. So the more you can experiment and try things out, the better it is for your work. Now on the Knowledge Organiser here, you can see different names of different artists and photographers. That's part of your course. Assessment Objective 1 is about you looking at the work of other people. Now, as well as it being part of your course, it's actually a really important thing to do for creative people, to look at the work of others, because it inspires you, it gives you ideas. And I always say at the beginning of photography, please open your eyes and look at the world around you so that you can get ideas and you can get inspiration. I've put some information here about what component 1 is, what a portfolio of work is. You do have to do written work. You have to record your ideas. You have to explain what you've done, why you've done it, how you've done it, how it links to a photographer that you've researched or an artist that you've looked at. And ultimately, you will develop and create a final piece of work for each of your projects. To help you along the way, please do have a look at GCSE Bite Size. There is a lot of information there to help you with your understanding of photography and what it is. And there's also a website that I will show you some of the videos from called Michael the Mentor. And what he does is break the key concepts of photography down into little short lessons, and he sets little homework tasks as well. He's fantastic, and I think he explains things really, really clearly. So please do take a look at his website. On this part of the Knowledge Organiser, you can see you have 4 assessment objectives. Now, each of these are marked out of 24, and they're equally weighted across the course. So, as I said earlier, Assessment Objective 1 is about you developing ideas by looking at the work of other people and exploring and experimenting in the style of those people, sort of using them as inspiration. Assessment Objective 2, this is about you experimenting and trying things out and recording your processes as you go along, ultimately leading you to creating design developments. So thinking about creating plans for what a final piece of work might look like. Assessment Objective 3 is your recording. Now we can record in different ways. We can record by writing and annotating. We can record by taking good quality photographs. And also part of this assessment objective is recording by drawing. Now it is a compulsory part of the course that you have to draw. Drawing can be physically drawing with a pencil or drawing within something like Photoshop. Assessment Objective 4 is your response to all of those things. So essentially a final piece of work to go with the project. Now at the bottom here of this part of the Knowledge Organiser, I've given you some tasks to do, and I really would like you to have a go at doing these tasks. So taking some photographs, having a go at using some apps, have a look at one of the artists or photographers from the Knowledge Organiser, and then I've given you a challenge at the bottom there, taking some photographs of food over a sequence or a course of a number of days, so that I can really see what your skills are, and we can use these as part of your project to develop everything. On the back of the Knowledge Organiser here, I've given you an image analysis guide sheet. This is a standard format that we use in lessons, and it's got questions that you will respond to and answer in paragraphs, please, and checking your spelling and your punctuation. So I would expect you to consider how you're writing, but it's very much about describing what you see in the work of somebody else. So this is something that a skill that we will develop throughout the course. At the beginning of each lesson, you will have a do it now task, and they will be literacy based. You will record your responses down in a booklet, and it's important that you develop your literacy skills within photography, because it's going to help you understand the key terms and how you are going to apply those to your practical work. We will expect that those are done in silence. And this is a typical lesson where you might be working in a computer room. Some of our lessons are in a computer room, some are based in the classroom. So there's always a sort of mixture of those two things. We might be working in Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator as part of our lessons. So as you can see here, the learning question is, how can I show inspiration from the pop art movement in my own photography? Now, I will demonstrate different techniques to you, and I will model those to you. That's an important part of our lessons. And then I will expect you to practice those things so that you're building your confidence on how to create work using different techniques. And building confidence is really important. I want you to be independent learners. I want you to be able to say, I've got this idea, miss, I'm going to go away and try it. And that's a really big part of the course, that you understand how to create something so that you can realise your ideas. Like other lessons in school, we will have periods of deliberate practice in some of our lessons if that's appropriate. And I would expect that you would follow those. We'll be very clear about that for you in the lessons. And a big expectation that I think is really important for you to understand is the need to be able to work outside of lessons. Now, I would expect you to take photographs at home. I might ask you to go to a particular location or set up a still life at home and take photographs. I might say, I need you to do some research, or I need you to finish something in your black workbooks. Now, everything you do in photography is part of your final GCSE grade. So 60% is from your coursework, so the things you do in lesson. So absolutely everything that you do is really important that you get it finished. So please do get used to working outside of lessons. To support you, we do after-school catch-up clubs so that you can access the facilities or get some advice, or just come up and work in the department for half an hour independently. So please know that that support is there for you as well. Okay, I'll look forward to seeing you all in September.